See, that's so interesting. I think if someone was asked me to recommend sports movies to them, I don't think I would recommend this. If I'm just recommending a great British movie with some sensational acting, I go with this. I'm just going to say this very, very quickly, and then we'll bring in our special guest. The book, I don't know. Listen, I don't worry with US sports movies too much about the accuracy. Did they get Coach Boone right in Remember the Titans? Did they depict Billy Bean right in Moneyball? Yeah, not hugely fussed. But when it gets closer to home, we know the stories. So actually, the movie was a little more light. The book was warts and all, and those warts were contested. The Leeds player Johnny Giles complained about the way he's portrayed in the book, said many of the things didn't happen. He received a claim, out of court settlement, damn it, etc., etc. It's important to say that. So where is it real? It's real amongst Leeds fans. And all these years later, after that book, they revisited this time, which is kind of now overshadowing a bit the great success. And Dave Tomlinson is not just a Leeds United author, leeds.co.uk. He's the authority in this. So let's bring Dave in. How you doing this morning, Dave?
I'm all right. I'm good.
It's a weird setup, right? Because, you know, you're talking to Siobhan, who's interviewed these stars of screen, but, you know, doesn't know the story of Leeds United. So we get the cinematic appraisal here. But as a Leeds fan, I'm just wondering, do you hate the whole damned United thing in terms of it just overshadowing the success of Leeds of that era? Give me your tuppence worth.
I'm not sure I hate it. I mean, it's already been said. The book's very different from the film. And I've heard the film described as Carry Clough. I mean, it feels like the film's all about Brian Clough and his obsession, etc. And it feels like Leeds are just bit part players in this. Now, I have to say, I'll get killed if I don't do this. It's Don Revie. I've got a certain person that's going to tell me that's what it was because the family told me it's Don Revie. But, you know, that's minor stuff. When you get...
And we change it. Yeah,
Johnny
we change
Giles,
things
about 5'6", 5'7", played by a 6 foot heavy. When you get all the stuff that was going on there, Leeds fans hate it because of the inaccuracy. But then you get Clough proponents also hate it because of the inaccuracy. And I think it's not just this thing where they go slightly off and there's dramatisation. You understand that. I do some of that in the work I do. But this feels like absolutely willful. Seasons are miles out from they were. There's some of the state of facts that were nowhere near. Some of the playing is pretty poor. I have to say, for the extras they brought in, I know Eddie Gray's relative was playing him in it, but it's also this thing about actually something like Cole Meany, he's a great actor, but there was just one dimension there. I think what it was, it needed its villains, and Leeds are perfect villains. So Cole Meany, absolutely no sympathetic side that at all. So I think it goes through. I think it's really funny, I have to say, you know, the whole thing. But other people say it's laughable in that same sense. Yeah. You know, Leeds fans will tell you it's absolute rubbish. But you know,
this is why the Hall of Fame Film Club is brilliant, right? So, like, because I can let you just go to the Jim Broadbent was great. Like, this is the thing. Like, if ever there was a film not made for you, this is the ultimate not made for a Leeds fan. So like, we were looking at who we could have on as guest as this. Like, we just need someone like Dave Tomlinson because it'll be such a homegrown perspective. Yeah, I mean, I've written about. I've done Revie. Before and and you know that thing I'd written about where the bus broke down the way the cup game and they had to walk through the fans, they were getting a dog's abuse and they win the game, and he made him do it. He was so superstitious he made it do every single cup game. All these stories are great,
but never mind.
Is that he didn't do it?
No, I mean, it's like this. It probably happened once and he was really superstitious, but he wouldn't have done that.
Oh, Dave, where's your love of folklore, Dave? Come on. Well, you gotta have a love of come on.
When facts favour us, they're great. When facts don't, I love folklore.
I think that's absolutely right. We love it if it favours us as well. So when you watch the film, then have you ever been able to sit and watch it just from the point of view of how good Michael Sheen is, how good Jim Broadbent is?
I love the film, but as a Leeds fan, I hate it. So you just get through. And I'll tell you what really amuses me looking back. Martin Comster, the guy that was in Line of Duty, John O'Hare. Yeah. So what are you going to do to him? I'm going to kill Paul Madeley. I left out the F there.
I know. Yeah. Do you know what? Every clip I've played has been DF'd and I'm still worried about it. Now, what I want to do to finish with you is the one thing we haven't talked about. I think getting football right in a sports movie is it's the holy grail and rarely achieved. This film is probably fair to say, Siobhan, shies away from recreating the football. That, Colin. But it does. It shies away from it. I was so happy when I started seeing them use real footage. And I was so happy with the scene that did a bit of a Billy Bean, actually, where they had him just, you know, they had his experience not watching the games. They did the same with Clough. They had him in the office. He can hear the noise of the game. Siobhan, how did you find the football side of it? And I'm going to ask Dave exactly the same question to see if you had the same experience, the actual football in the movie.
Well, it's funny, isn't it? Because The Damned United is a football film that keeps football to an absolute minimum. You never get through an entire game on screen, which is what we expect of sports movies. I mean, there's that brilliant moment where even Brian Clough can't sit through a match. He's holed up in the club boardroom instead, waiting for the 90 minutes of play to end and trying to follow the match just from the sound of the crowd. And I think maybe shippers, for our American friends, would feel cheated out of watching British actors miming passes with all the conviction of Joe Jordan performing Hedda Gabler. But Michael Sheen is terrific here. You know, you can see his bursts of confidence. You can see that there's moments of doubt just through the way he paces around and his darting eyes. I also say, by the way, that they did go to some pains to get actors who could play football. Michael Sheen could have been a football player. Stephen Graham also turned out for Kirby Boys in his youth. And Martin Compston famously, never likes to talk about it, had some tryouts for Celtic.
I'll tell you this. I don't know whether it's just like we got to be careful with time. We got to finish on time today. But it does. It's one of those things. And I'm saying this purely for bands. But Dave, you had trials means you weren't picked, right? That's why you're an actor. You weren't picked. Escape to Victory it's got Kane and Stallone. Stallone and Nets makes it unbelievable, but they get Hurst and Pele and Ardiles and they still can't quite pull off filming football. And some of the games they played were real. And they just took bits out of it. And even then, Dave, I don't buy the football in it. I have to say, I like the old footage, don't really buy the football in it. But then that's like almost every other football movie, Dave.
Well, the one where it's played in the rain just before the Juventus game, those shirts didn't look real to me. And, you know, just going through that, what was said there, we kicked them out. We screwed them up in terms of the European Cup. It was Juventus bribing that did that. That was completely wrong. But actually, it was quite funny. Apart from Bremner's wink. There you go.
Dave's Brent. There's no way Dave cares about this movie one jot.
I like it.
Don't apologise. Don't apologise. Stay seasoned. So you should be, because we can get lost in the Hollywood of it. We can absolutely, Siobhan can draw the line between fact and fiction and understand that that's just what happens when you serialise movies. But for Dave, is absolutely should be in the place that he's in right now. Right, listen, we got to wrap it up time-wise, because we are out of time. What a great movie to talk about, The Damned United. Dave, what's your new book called? Are you writing about Howard Wilkinson?
No, there's a number. So the new books, I've got Doing the Leeds, The Implosion. So it's about Ridsdale years. There's one also at the same time about the 1970s, but the one that I want to talk about, if I can, is the Howard Wilkinson book, which came out last year. But we just launched a tribute in the last couple of weeks. We're trying to get a statue built for Howard Wilkinson.
Nice.
Howard Wilkinson legacy, really good launch, a lot of interest, etc. That's the one I'd want to talk about.
Well, listen, that's great. I'm glad we're able to mention it. We've got to go to the Wimbledon now at 12. I'm going to, whatever your next book is, I'm going to read every word of it, Dave. And if you make one mistake in it, I'm going to pull you up like the Damned United.
Colin, no mistakes.
Why wouldn't you want to read his books, whether you're a Leeds United fan or not? Dave, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
And thank you, Siobhan. Great as always. That was a lot of fun today. And we'll do it all again next week.